Hitting the ball solidly is one of the best feelings that you can have in golf, and we all know how important that is to getting the most distance. Today we're going to measure that. So how much difference is it between an unsolid shot and a solid shot? We're talking about where we hit on the face with the same swing in your overall distance. It can make up to as much as 49 yards difference in your driving distance. We're going to go over that today. All right, so a big part of how much distance you get is what's called gear effect and where we're making contact with the golf ball. That determines how much energy is also going to be transferred into the golf ball is where we hit the face. So I have a big piece of wood here. Let's imagine this is the golf club, the face of the club, and this is your golf ball. This makes it a lot easier to visualize. If you look at the lines on this giant ball, if I hit the ball dead solid right in the center of the face, it's going to transfer the most amount of energy into this ball, and it's going to leave the face traveling very, very straight. Now let's imagine for a second that I hit this off the toe. What actually happens is the toe will twist back a lot. I don't know if you've seen this in high speed, but the toe will really twist back a lot. And as it does that, because the ball is stuck to the face, the ball has what's called a gear effect and actually moves the opposite way. So as the toe goes back, the ball starts to curve right to left. If we're looking at it from this direction, if you hit off the toe, it moves back and the ball curves right to left just because you hit off the toe, even if you're swinging dead straight. The opposite happens if you're off the heel. The heel curves back and the ball rotates inward, resulting in a slice. Now the final two pieces of this are low and high. If I'm hitting the ball low on the face, the club actually is going to twist down and I get an increase in spin. That can really destroy your driving distance because now the ball is going to shoot up into the air, which you may have felt before. So if your ball starts to get that really spinny shot that shoots up in the air, you're losing some distance, and that's because you're hitting it low on the face. When we hit it high on the face, the opposite thing happens. The club face turns back and we get a little top spin on the ball, or what feels like top spin. In reality, it's just less backspin. So ideally, we want to get it as close to the sweet spot as we can, and actually just a little bit above that. That's going to be the perfect shot that's going to launch the ball high. It's going to have low spin. It's going to get us the most distance. Now let's go ahead and test this out on the flight scope so we can see just how much this matters. All right, so let's start out by trying to hit some low and off the heel. This is going to be your worst shot. It's going to take off the most distance because it's going to add backspin, and it's also going to give that left to right curve and give you more of a lower launch, which is going to be bad for distance too. So I'm going to try to go for a low heel shot on this one. That was really low. Actually just barely skipped off the ground, but you can see I went almost all off the face there. So overdid that one a little bit, right off the bottom of the club. I'll see if I can do a little better, at least get one on the face. There we go, yeah. So pretty good swing, way low off the heel. It kind of blended in with the last one, but you can see really low off the heel there. So that should really cut off my distance. All right, so now we're going to try to hit one low and off the toe. Again, this is going to have more spin, not good for distance. It's going to make the launch lower, which is also not good for distance. And it should have a little bit of a right to left curve on it. Too low again. Low off the toe, but I'm exaggerating these too much so we can see that I'm off the bottom of the face. Let's hit another one. I don't think the flight scope is going to pick that one up. All right, so low off the toe, try number two. Yep, the ball curved right to left, launched really low. Caught that one a little more on the face. Again, these are extreme examples just so we can see these, but we're going to see too much spin, very short distances compared to where we want to be. All right, next one we're going to go high and off the heel. It's going to launch a little bit higher. As you get higher on the face, there's actually more loft on the top of the face, which is going to get it to launch higher, which is good for distance. We're going to have that gear effect actually getting less backspin on the ball, which is good for distance. But because it's off the heel, it's not going to transfer as much energy. So we're going to still see kind of a loss of distance here, but it's not going to be quite as bad as the other ones if I can get this to contact correctly. There we go, off the heel. That was higher than the other ones, but I still want to get it higher on the face. So we can see that was almost in the center of the face off the heel. I'll try one more. That ball definitely went farther. There we go. You see that ball's cutting again, higher off the face. I got it above the center of gravity there. We still see not as high as we could, but we see a huge difference in the launch angle. I mean, that one's launching way, way higher, which is good for distance. It's getting some overall better carry Now let's get one off the toe. That's gonna be much faster, and then we'll try to hit some really good ones. All right, high and off the toe. Much more solid. So that was just a little high and off the toe. That ball started to curve right to left a little bit. Not as extreme as what I was hoping there, but again, ball flight much better, higher launch, lower spin on that one, and I probably picked up some decent distance when looking at that shot. Let's go ahead and take a look at these numbers, and then I'll go ahead and talk about where we want to be if it's perfect, and I got a great drill to help you improve this. All right, so let's take a look at these numbers for the 4 quadrants that we hit. The very first couple swings were low and off the heel. The first one didn't read because it kind of skimmed across the ground. The second one was only 241 total distance, so not very good for 111 miles an hour clubhead speed. Also noticed 3,700 RPMs of backspin. So as I got lower on the face, that ball really started to spin up because of the gear effect, and we saw that that ball faded. Even though that wasn't my swing that was making it fade, it was more of the contact point. Now the second 2 we did low and off the toe. Again, had one skim across the ground. Definitely not used to hitting it that low on the face. And we picked up a little bit of distance because the toe is going to go farther than the heel. We went 276 there, but again, 3,300 RPMs of backspin, not exactly what we want to have. Definitely not the best there. As we went high and off the heel, we picked up a little bit more distance because it got a higher launch, lower spin in general. So 282 yards total. But that's the longest one yet, highest off the heel. And we got around 3,100 RPMs of backspin, which is the lowest out of the 4, or the ones that we've done so far. And then finally, the longest one, even though we got too much spin, because I probably got a little too much hook on there, but the 290 one was the high and off the toe. Smash factor was better. The spin was still a little bit high for what we want because it was kind of going right to left. But that was the best out of the 4. All right, so now I've drawn an X right on the center of the sweet spot. So you'll see on this picture that's on the screen, the little tiny X below the circle is the dead center. That's the center of gravity. Where you want to hit is that circular area there. So just a little bit higher than the center of gravity. It's going to get you a little more launch. It's going to take off a little bit of spin. That's going to get you maximum distance. So go ahead and get your foot powder spray, put it on your club, make that little circle there. And I want to make sure that the dead center of my golf ball is right in that circle as I make some swings. So I'll go ahead and try this out. It may take me a couple of them to get them exactly where I want. I've kind of been all over the face doing these different drills. We'll see how I can do. All right, so first swing a little bit low and a little bit off the heel. So we can see not perfect, not exactly where we want to be, but not too bad. We'll try to adjust for another one. All right, so there we go. On that swing, just barely above the center of gravity. It took me a few swings to get one where I wanted. But you can see this top one, the center of that ball mark would be barely above the center of gravity. That's what we're looking for. Go ahead and try that out. Try to find the center of gravity. And let's go ahead and try a couple more drills that are going to get you better face awareness. All right, so now I got some drills that I want you to do to really perfect this and to get used to hitting both low, high, toe and heel, and then that way you can fine tune to get right on the sweet spot. So what I want to do first here is go ahead, put the spray on your club and then draw a vertical line right down in the center of the sweet spot. So we want a straight up and down line. And what I want to do is I want to hit 10 shots, and after every shot we're going to check. The first shot I want to hit on the toe side of that line. So anything where the center of the ball mark is just on the toe side, that's going to be counted as a win. That's 1 point. And then you're going to move on to the second shot, which is going to be on the heel side. It'll be 2 points, back to the toe for 3, 4, 5, 6, alternating every shot until you get to 10 total successful shots that were on the right side of the club that you wanted. That's level number 1. It might take you a while. For beginning players, it could take almost an entire range bucket to get some awareness there, but you're going to start to be able to feel this better and to be able to adjust that. And it doesn't have to be, we're only talking small amounts. You don't have to change your swing. We're just going to get better hand-eye coordination and better feel for the club head. Then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go low and high. We're going to split the club into 2 different sections, top half and bottom half. We're going to alternate for 10 points there too. And then finally, I want to go ahead and draw that circle above the sweet spot right where we want to be. We're going to try to get 10 right around that circle. So depending on your skill level, you can give yourself a little bit of wiggle room there. We're going to try to get right where it is. So you're going to look after every shot. If I'm a little high, I'm going to try to lower the contact on the face. If I'm a little low, I'm gonna do the opposite. And now you're starting to develop a feel. That's exactly what the pros do when they get a little bit off. They work on their hand-eye coordination and get it right back on the center. Good luck to you guys. I'll see y'all soon. All right, thanks for watching this video. Hope you really like this episode of Swing Speed Saturdays. Be sure to subscribe to see all our new episodes. And I got a great bonus for you. A preview of the lag video is gonna pop up in a second. It's the #1 lag mistake that I see. So if you wanna start getting more lag, increase your club head speed, go ahead and click on the preview, the link that comes up on your screen, or down below in the description if you're on a mobile device. If you have any questions, post them below. And also remember to subscribe, like I said, so you can see all our latest, greatest videos. Good luck to you guys. I'll see you in the lag video. Hi guys, and welcome back. I'm Ballard, and in today's video, we're gonna talk about one of the absolute worst drills for creating lag. It's a very common drill that I see. And in this drill, what we're gonna do is we're gonna set the wrist very early to create an angle of lag, and then we're gonna try to hold this throughout the swing. It's one of the worst things that you can do to build lag. I'm gonna talk about the science behind why this is the case, and I'm also gonna give you a great drill to help you improve your lag, all in this video. Let's go ahead and get started. I do it this way versus holding that position. Exact same thing happens when we're building lag in the golf swing. So what we wanna do is throughout the swing, I wanna have a very low and wide takeaway. So I'm not gonna set my wrist early at all. If you look at a lot of the top players, you look at Adam Scott, very wide takeaway, not very much wrist set at all. You look at Rory McIlroy, you look at Tiger Woods, all these players are using a wide takeaway and not getting very much wrist set, so that later in the swing, as we start down, we can increase this wrist set, and we're really only gonna max out this angle of lag for a split second in the downswing. Okay, so a 3-step drill here. Now, as we get started with this, I want to remind you that the fulcrum in this golf club for getting a massive amount of lag is right at the end of the golf club. This is where I want my hinge point to be. I want to use the full length of this club to build lag and then release lag.